Hey guys, and welcome back to Fully Defined. Today, I'm going to take you through a tutorial on speed modeling for a multi-body material model. Now, this is Toby's first practice model, which includes the new material red oak. And it's a great little model because there's a few little tips and tricks in this one, including symmetry, mirrors, using selection contours or sketch contours in your extrudes, which I use, I really like, and yeah, I feel it's a perfect sort of model to learn from. So I've already had a go myself, submitted my own time. At the end of this video, I'll have another go, see if I can beat that. But for now, what we're going to do is a walkthrough of how to build this model and how to apply your materials in SolidWorks to get the right result in the quickest way possible. So let's get into it. First, I'm going to start with my new template for millimeters and red oak. Now, when you're selecting a model, or when you're practicing on a model that has multiple materials, if you want to be 100% correct, you always want to make sure you are applying the materials to each individual body. But if there's more bodies that have the same material, use that as your starting point. It can save you a few clicks on the in applying those materials to those bodies when you're done. So I'm going to start with my red oak millimeters template. And when I'm looking at this part, very quickly we can see that it's a duplicate. Okay, so it's exact mirror, part 1 and part 2, which means we only have to do it once, okay, in the model. So I'm going to sketch all the detail that we can see in this side view that we need to create the extrude. I'm going to then add some other details like this little recessed area, the chamfer. Then I'm going to mirror it to the other side, and then I'm going to put those 2 bars in, those rods, as the last step. All right, let's go. So you could use front or right plane. And when I did this the first time, I used my origin as the bottom left corner. Makes a lot of sense, I think. Because straight away we can add in the 220 and 185 millimeter dimensions. Okay, and we've got our rough size already fully defined there. And now I'm looking at this profile to create the shape around it. Now we're just going to sketch it. The way I like to do this is sketch the shapes, try and get as much like relations into that sketch as I can. So this, for instance, is tangent, and then there's a straight line up here, and then there's another tangent arc coming from the top. Okay, I'm just drawing that all in, and then I'm hitting my T key, which I have for power trim to trim away, and now I can add the dimensions. So I can see this top section here, 40 to a virtual sharp means that this edge here is 40, and we can add the fillet in later. The angle for these two, 17. The radius at the bottom down here, 39. And now I need to add this gap, which is 20. Now to do that, I'm holding the shift key when I click on the bottom of that arc. That lets me dimension to that actual edge rather than the center point of that arc. The radius on the outside, 22. The height of that point, 50. And then I just got to click this point here to make that tangent, and then I've got a fully defined profile. Now the other details that I want to put in are these 2 holes at the bottom. So I'm going to sketch one of them. I can see that they're 15 in diameter. And I'll sketch another, but I won't add a dimension to that. I'm just going to make them equal. And then I'll add the dimensions to get them in the right position. And I will add a horizontal relation between them by holding Control, clicking horizontal to get them in the right position. All right. Now, the other 2 details we have is the circle. Now, the circle has, on that drawing here, you can see it's kind of got 2 lines. Those 2 lines is indicating the chamfer that we can see. And the chamfer is detailed over here, 5 by 45 degree. So we're just going to draw the through hole, which is 42. So I've got my circle tool, put in the dimension 42, and add the dimensions to constrain it. So it's 40 from the side And I can see here it's 78 for the bottom. And then the last one is the shape at the top. Now the shape at the top, we can see it's offset 8 mil from those three faces. So a very quick way to do that is to select these three outer lines. I'm going to hit offset entities, and I'm going to make sure select chain is unticked, and then put in my dimension, hit reverse to make it on the inside, and press OK. And then just draw another line to close it off and trim away the excess. Okay, and then we've got the complete shape. Add the dimension in on the side there. And there's one step that I forgot in doing this, and I will undo just to bring you back, which saves a bit of time. The fillets around the top are actually concentric, so we should do the outer fillets first. So I'm going to put those two outer fillets in, and then I'm going to reset or redo that process. So I've just done the offset again and selected those. This time, those two 8mm fillets already in the top. I just have to add 2 at the bottom and the dimension to the bottom, and then the shape is done. That's the quicker and more efficient way to do it. Obviously, try not to make the mistake the first time around. Okay, so there's our fully defined sketch. Now we need to create the full width. And the way I did this first time around was I've extruded 30mm, which we can see in the brackets. So 30, and I'm going to offset this 60mm, which is half of the gap, so that when I mirror it later, that gap in between them is going to be that 120, exactly what we need. The other thing I want to do is go down here to selected contours, and I want to include that thicker section. All right, now there's actually 2 ways of doing that. I could leave it out, and then I can do an extrude afterwards, or I can include it and then do a cut afterwards. The first time around, I did it like this, but maybe it'll be quicker in this method. So let's press OK. And now we're going to use that same sketch again. So I select it, hit my E for extrude. This time I'm going to select the contours. I'm just going to select that inner area. Now I want this to go 30 minus 12. So it's going to be 18. So I'm going to make it from this face, I'm going to go 18mm. All right. Okay, so that's now most of that body. But before we mirror, we want to put the chamfering. So I go to my chamfer tool, and I'm going to change the dimension to 5 and click on the internal face. So a little shortcut that if you didn't know for chamfering and fillets, if you are chamfering on both edges or 2 edges, and those edges are connected with a face, instead of selecting 2 edges, just select the face, and it will do both at the same time. All right, so there's my first body. Now I'm going to mirror that and mirror that around the front plane. So hit front, hit mirror, bodies, uncheck merge, and press OK. And now I've got the 2 solid bodies on the outside done. My last step for modeling is to do the 2 rods going through the bottom. For this, I'm going to go back to that first sketch and select those 2 circles. And then for direction 1, I'm going to go up to surface on the outside. And direction 2, I'm going to repeat the process and uncheck merge result. Now that's very important so that you retain the multiple bodies here and not merge it all into one body. So that's the end of our modeling. Now to apply materials to a multi-body model in SolidWorks, hit the drop-down arrow on the solid bodies folder. Our first 2 bodies will have in fact, all bodies here have the material that's already assigned to the file, which in this case is red oak. It's the third and fourth bodies here that we need to change. So I can select both of those, right-click, go material. And in my favorite materials here, I've got 1060 alloy. By clicking that, that applies that material to those bodies. And then we can see we've got our answer 690, and that is correct. So there you go. Great little model. Now, I'm going to hit pause, do a time lapse, see if I can do this quicker, improve that time. I've seen on the website here that my time was okay first time round, 4:56, 2:50 from Minlot Techs. So let's see if we can try again and beat that. Well, took 2 goes, but 3 minutes 20, looked better. Cheers. All right, just before we go, I want to give a shout out to Toby here and his practice models and the work they've been doing to improve the functionality of this tool on his website. It's really, really handy, and you can see I've actually used it quite a bit with the models that I've completed over the time, particularly in the lead up to the World Championships. Now he's got these premium members only tutorials, and I'll be signing up for those pretty soon. I've just got to, obviously this project I want to get through first, but the free models here and the functionality now to try again and beat your times and practice and see how you compare against others. It's really nice and something that a few people have asked for. So definitely recommend jumping on here and checking that out. And if you're looking for help, you jump in his Discord as well. You'll see me and a few other guys in there, at least answering questions and helping guys out when you get the chance. So nice work, Toby and team. Awesome stuff here. Really enjoy it. And yeah, I'll see you again soon. Later.
Hey, thanks for watching the video all the way to the end. If you enjoyed it, please like and share. If you've got any suggestions for other content, leave it in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And there's some other videos here. Check out. Thanks.